Alright, what's going on, everybody? Roncli here, and this is going to be a speed run of Sublevel 0 Redux. Do a new game here. They added 2 ships to the game, but we're still going to fly our trusty Pyro. I'm also doing this on normal difficulty for maximum easy mode. We're going to get ready to go in 3, 2, 1, now. And there's a nice story to this game. We're just gonna straight up skip it. I'll give you guys a little background since last time we had this live, we didn't really go over the story of the game. Basically, the universe is falling apart at the seams, and weird things are happening, and you're sent to this station to investigate what's going on. And while you're there, you get trapped, and you have to assemble a warp core to find your way home. Now, Sublevel 0 Redux is actually a DLC to the game. It's free if you got the game. You got the DLC too. Adds more enemies, more rooms. There's a campaign, but it's still a basic 6 sublevels. We're starting in Sublevel 0, and right now, basically, what we're doing is we're going to be flying around trying to kill enemies and get weapon drops. Because right now, we don't have a big gun, and that kind of feels bad. Maybe we can find one in here. Back before the DLC, these few rooms used to be a very big waste of time. Let's not die in Sublevel 1, that'd be great. So these are like challenge rooms where you have to kill a whole bunch of enemies at once. And then you get, like, a power-up buff. But they added this little sphere in the middle, and all this sphere does is take you back to where you're supposed to go. It's pretty nice. Especially for somebody who's directionally challenged like I am. So we picked up a Pulsar. That's one of the 3 guns that we need. Unlike the last run, I'm only going to be aiming for a single gun here. It is the big gun. Impact rifle's not going to give it to me. I'll pick it up anyway. Let's see where we're going. Because they added a bunch of new rooms to the game, and I haven't been playing this religiously, there are still a few rooms that I don't know yet. So you may see me check the map a little more than last time. A useless shredder? I don't think so. Shredders are not useless. I will pick that up, and we are going to make use of it a little later. The last item that we need is a firebolt. And hopefully we can get that pretty quickly, and then we can worry about crafting. So this is a 6 Degree of Freedom first-person shooter. It's also a hardcore roguelike, meaning that if my health hits 0, I die. One of the saving graces that this game has, however, is that you cannot die unless you have 1 health. So if you take enough damage that would normally put you below 0 health, you actually get set to 1 health, and then the next hit kills you. If you happen to heal up between then and taking the next hit, well, you're back to the point where you can't get killed again. So we're on Sublevel 1 now. This is the Industrial Zone. We will be seeing a new zone shortly. There are 4 different zones in the game, each with its own challenges. The Industrial Zone tends to be more claustrophobic than the other zones, although they have added some larger rooms. This is probably one of the larger of the rooms in the Industrial Zone. They have made a couple pretty big ones, too. Like this one. Kind of neat. Make sure I'm on the right way here. So, trying to make my way through level as quickly as possible as we get into the next zone. This is the lava caves. Playing a little safe here. And you'll notice there's lava up there whenever I shoot it. It causes these minor explosions. If you or an enemy are caught in those explosions, you'll take damage. Blue key! So, someone mentioned Descent in chat not too long ago. This game is very much inspired by Descent. You will notice that there are keys. They will open doors of the same color. And even like my ship, the ship that I'm flying now, the one that I prefer to fly for speedruns because of the ease to get the endgame weapon, it is called the Pyro, which is the same as the descent ship. This is going to be one of those new rooms that I'm not familiar with, so bear with me here as I figure out where the heck it's trying to take me. There we go. Oh, goodness. Oh, the lava drillers are no fun, especially when my aim's a little off. But one missile takes them out. Interesting to note, on hardcore mode, that is not true. You have to hit them twice, which makes them extremely dangerous. And the main reason why I'm not playing on hardcore mode is because the drops are way more RNG-like. Oh, we got one of the new enemies in the next room, too. This guy's kind of neat. He spins around shooting lasers in every direction. As long as you're not on the plane of his attack, you're fine. A hard version of him has lasers coming out of more directions than just a single plane. Makes it a little harder to deal with. There's also shielding enemies. There's other types of enemies that have more homing bullets. Hardcore mode is generally quite hard. It's not something I would say is a consistent speedrun just yet. So here we go. I'm full on inventory, so I'm just going to eat that extra repair kit there, and we'll head on to sub-level 2. I'll take the extra regen. We have a lot of regen right now. Now, this is one of the many 6-degree freedom games that are coming out, of course, Descent Underground. Currently on, I believe, BreakLocker.com. You also have Overload by the original developers of Descent. They're doing a new game, new IP. And there's been a bunch that have come out as well. Retrovirus, Neon Excesses, Minor Wars 2081. Bunch of neat games in the genre over the last, I'd say, 5 to 7 years. So we're still looking for that Firebolt. Until then, we are going to just try to kill everything we see. Nice quick blue key means that this will probably be one of the faster levels in the run, which is very nice. These little guys are annoying because they like to run away. But fortunately, the game gives you a nice starting weapon called the autocannon that allows you to hunt them down. The autocannon has auto-aim. It is super useful. These guys are mine layers. Those are bad. And now we have our first of the more annoying enemies. These guys have homing bullets. Nice thing about homing bullets in this game is every homing bullet, or homing projectile, whether it's a missile or otherwise, it can be shot down. So the weapon I'm using right now, the flamethrower, makes it very easy to just walk in and go guns a-blazing and not get hit. These are bombs. They have a crap ton of health. But the best way to deal with them is just fly right past them and let them blow up. You take minimal damage from them, especially on this mode, and it's just way faster. And they still drop all their stuff, too. This room's gonna be annoying. Just switch weapons. Just briefly. Still hear a couple of snipers around here, so we'll have to be a little careful. Hoping to get the firebolt before we leave this floor, but it's not looking likely. There you go, you're sitting in the corner. And I have... Okay, I'm going to take a moment here because I have no inventory space. I would like to hold on to extra repair kits here. So we just crafted a... we'll call it a medium gun. It's not quite a big gun yet. And if we have to, we'll use it on this next reactor. There's 6 different reactors in the game. They all do something just a little different. The first 2 were in kind of identical rooms. If you at all recall the game from last time, you'll notice those rooms have changed. They made those rooms a little bit more difficult and less easy to cheese them. They did not do that with the final 2 levels, though, which I was very disappointed with. Ooh, that's bad. I did not see that bomb because I was blinded. There are enemies in this game that will blind you. If you're not paying attention, you can't see it's on the other side of them. Fortunately, it's fine. This is... It's okay. So we are on this next reactor here, and we have very little to deal with. We're going to kill the enemies first, and then we're going to kind of we're forced to take this slow because we don't yet have the weapon we need. Unless one pops out of one of these next few enemies here. That is not it. It's a shredder, but I already have a shredder, so we'll check this guy, and that's the last guy we're going to check. HVRL, that's good. That'll help speed things up a bit. That may mean I may not have to switch weapons at all. So let's give it a shot. We're going to fire everything we have at this reactor. Since we just got this HVRL, it's a different type of secondary missile. They call it darts for short. And then that's it. Oh, I want to check this real quick. That is not what I want, so we're going to keep going. Oh, it's a crap ton of health. Let's see. Gung Ho. That's probably the best speedrunning item in the game. So now those bombs that were doing damage to me last floor, when I find them, they'll do absolutely nothing to me. And not only that, any type of explosions, whether it's exploding enemies, whether I'm firing secondaries at a wall, it doesn't matter. I take 0 damage from all that. As compensation, I now only have 52 health. But given that typically most of the damage in this game tends to be from explosions, it's not a problem. Oh, I am out of missiles, so I'll just have to burn him down, literally. And it's now a quest to find a big gun. Oh. So the way that the game generates the levels, this is a roguelike, like I mentioned. Yes, we don't want to go that way. Let's see what we did wrong here. Oh, well, this is just actually a dead end. We'll go this way. Fine. Let's see where this is. The way it generates the levels is that it has different types of rooms, different types of prefabricated rooms. So you'll see the same types of rooms throughout the run, throughout various runs. And then they're just connected by different doorways. I see a blue haze over here. I'm wondering if that means that there is a key, but I do not see one. Lighting cues in this game can tell you where things like keys are. Sometimes they're not very accurate. Oh, there's our firebolt. This is going to be like the worst arc pulse ever, but the worst arc pulse is still better than any other gun in the game. So we are going to go ahead and craft first the plasma caster, which I am not going to get to show off, sadly, followed by the arc pulse. And before this guy can do something to us, we're going to wreck him with it. This is the arc pulse. If you've played Descent, you might be familiar with the fusion cannon. This is very similar. The difference being is that it will arc lightning to enemies that are nearby to the shot, so you don't actually have to hit them. Just a close shot is more than enough. And that's really all we're looking for. At this point, we're just going to go for the exit. This is a dangerous room. Okay, that's fine. That laser could have really cut into our speed. You also ram enemies. That sound you heard was me running into an enemy, not really caring he was there. If you run into it enough, it will die. You also notice the music just changed a bit. That's kind of one of the features of the game, is that the music will change the more enemies you hit. So let's see, we need to go straight this way. Also of interesting note, the game does not pause when you're checking things such as the map or crafting, so you have to be on your toes at all times. Here's an example of Gung Ho at work that did absolutely no damage. Once you get a perk, you have it for the rest of the game. Does not stay unlocked between runs. You have to get it every run if you want it. And sometimes you just don't get it. Alright, here's the 4th reactor coming up. By the way, those are the crystal caves there. Normally I hide behind a couple things here, but we're just going to let this thing go nuts. Because, honestly, this is easy mode. I did see something I want here. Let's grab that, and then we're out of here. And that's it for Sublevel 3. We're on to Sublevel 4. So currently the world record for this mode is just over 20 minutes. I think it's like 20 something, which requires insane RNG. You have to have the perfect layouts, and you have to go the right way when there's options. I do believe you could get under 20 minutes. It's going to take a lot of grinding to get that kind of PB. Average run for this mode is, usually around 25 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there. Compare that with hardcore mode, where hardcore mode's even harder to get the build that you want. There's also less drops, so you have to do a lot more ammunition management. That's something that is missing from this particular mode, which makes it speedrun marathon safe. Yeah, and exploding enemies do nothing, so we'll keep going. Those enemies are usually a pain in the butt, but since, again, gung-ho, no explosions, we can just do that. And also gung-ho will come in handy in a few moments as well. We do want to find the military zone. This is the final zone of the game. Enemies tend to be super thick here, and we'll see a couple new enemies come in, but we'll mostly be just flying right by them. There's going to be a yellow key either in this room or the next room, and I'm going to guess it's in the next room here. There it is. Whenever you cross a door, that puts a timer on when you're going to find the key. It's either going to be in the room that you entered, or it's going to be in the following room. This is very interesting, because I now actually have no idea what kind of layout this is. It's not going to be that way. I'm tempted. In fact, I'm going to do it. We're going to go ahead and do a challenge room here to get the way back. Thick enemies, yes. But that's okay. We can have thick enemies. I have a big gun. Wow, that was kind of silly there with the shield. Enemy is glitching out there. I've never quite seen that before. So we kill all the enemies. We're going to pick up this, increase the value of nanites by 5%, which is completely useless to us at this stage of the game. I don't want a cluster. Cluster. What's this one? This is, same thing. Wow, okay. And it's going to take us way back here. Back to where we didn't kill some enemies. Let's see where we need to go. Looks like it's going to be this way. So yeah, that was definitely worth the pit stop. Because instead of traveling back all those rooms and generally have a boring run, not only do we get back there faster, we also have some buffs to show for it. Very nice addition to Redux. That's a story piece. If you want to learn more about the story, you pick up those. This is a big room. They added some gigantic rooms in the DLC. And that one's probably like 1/3 of the biggest room right now. And it's really big. Alright. A lot of enemies in here, as mentioned. We're just going to pick up repair kits and use them instantly because why not? Let's head on to the 5th reactor here. And gung-ho coming in big again because there's a lot of mines in this room. We're just going to sit in this corner and just wail away on this. There's a few phases to this fight. Really not worth talking about because it is already dead. Alright, Sublevel 5 gonna be the last one. Just curious what I'm looking like on time, if someone can drop a what the timer's at. I don't think I'm going to hit any kind of record, but this does feel pretty fast. $19:06? Yeah, not too bad. Probably like 23 minutes, which is a superb time. when I hit 20 minutes, I wasn't anywhere near that. We'll check to see. Okay, so I'm gonna go this way because I have a feeling it might be that way, and I could be very wrong. This game is giving me a lot of options right now, which makes it... Oh, that's a early yellow door. That's unfortunate. Typically, when you see an early yellow door like that in sub-level 4 or 5, that means you're gonna have to do a lot of backtracking. I've been wrong before. Okay, so I need to find the blue key. I'm gonna check in here. This is a pretty big room. It could be in the same room that the blue door's in, but it might not be. So it's not gonna be in here. It's fine. Which means that first way we went back this way should be the correct way to go. Oh, wait, it was right here. Okay, so looking for the blue door, or blue key. This could be the rare trap room blue key. Be interesting. Nope, not today. Not sure what he wants. Ah, there it is. It was hidden in this previous room. Kind of like trapped up in the corner. Didn't even see it. Went right by it. Okay, so now just need to remember which way to go back. I think it's this way. And it should be to the right. Alright. Developer of this game is called Sick Trap Studios. They're a bunch of guys out of Manchester, England. Really nice guys. I talked to two guys, Gary and Luke, and they've been very receptive to feedback of the game. Really awesome developers. Can't wait to see what they're coming up with next. Here is a yellow door. We're just gonna knock that guy around a bit. We actually killed him. We rammed him to death. There's the red key, and then typically what happens when you see a blue door and a yellow door side by side like this in two adjacent rooms, you have what's called a blue-red finish, where the red door is behind the blue door somewhere. And given that we entered the military zone, that seems to be extremely likely. Very rarely will this game troll you with layouts once you've seen the blue and the yellow door. You pretty much know what you're doing at that point. It's gonna have to be this way. Just ignore all these enemies because, you know, killing enemies takes time. Look at me this way. Some dangerous enemies in this room, so I do have to kind of be heads up here. Here we go. This is the end of the game. Final reactor coming up. I'll try to give just a good overview of what's going on. You enter the room. We're going to take out these turrets along the side because they can be trolly. You can see this, the reactor's kind of wizened up. It's got some physical armor around it, so you shoot the armor, right? Well, no, it's smarter than that. It's going to put up a shield, and then it's going to put these things up, which you have to shoot down. Until you're done, until you shoot these down, the game will continually spawn ads. I actually had a bug happen there where one of the pillars didn't light up. That's a known bug. I have no idea what causes it. If I did, I'd cause it to happen more. Once you take those down, you work on the reactor. You get these little swarmers spawn. A whole bunch of turrets shows up, and then the reactor goes nuts on you. You can see I'm really not caring a whole lot because I have literally used every single one of my remaining repair kits, and that's time. So there you have it. That is Sublevel 0 Redux. Hopefully we saved you guys a little bit of time. We'll be back on Friday with Monolith and Death State, a couple of top-down roguelikes. And also going to be doing a actual and old-school Descent show on my Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/Roncli called The Observatory. That's 2 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. So thanks, guys, for watching. See you, bye.